Today, we are checking out a video, an interview with Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg. Dr. Dre being considered one of the greatest producers of all time in hip hop. I know a lot of people hold him to be number one. And, you know, I can see why that is the case. And I was watching it halfway through, and it's on the Stephen A. Smith channel, but I'll have it linked in the description box. And there was a lot of nuance to the producer versus beat maker conversation, and I want you guys to weigh in and tell me how you feel about this situation, because bruh, it is a very spicy take. Boy, when I tell you this is a take, it is a take. Let's go.
Put through the league that are Hall of Famers. Just think about his track record as far as production and the artists that he started. That's why I say he's the Nick Saban. He's got a great career for himself.
No question.
But what about the people he put on?
That's where I'm going with you next. What about those folks? When you reflect on who you've helped along the way, I'm sure you don't want to play favorites. I get that part. But
I know I'm his favorite.
Speak to it. What you believe, you know, when you hear and see the work of other folks. Snoop is somebody that obviously touches you in a very, very positive way.
How's the volume?
Anybody else out there? I'm imagining Eminem and others, but anybody else out there?
I mean, you know, everybody that I've worked with, you
Good?
know,
Okay.
has touched me and touched my career in a certain way. You know what I mean? It's like every artist that I put my body into has helped me and my family in a certain way.
What about the producers?
So does any one of them stick out? Of course, Snoop does.
Right.
You know, this is my brother, but, you know, we've got, you know, 50 and Eminem and Kendrick and Anderson .Paak, you know. I just
Anderson .Paak is highly slept on, guys. Just highly slept on, by the way.
love getting in the studio with people that I love to get down with. That's all it is to it. As corny or as generic as that may sound, that's just what I do.
What would y'all tell an artist today that, you know, you're an aspiring artist, you want to make it, you want to get in the room and put that work in?
Be original. Be original, because right now it's so much copycat, mimicking, sounding alike, imitation.
You already know it's about to get real spicy. This is where I stopped it at.
Original. Find your voice, find your production sound, find your ear for who you are, and be original, even if it ain't.
I hate when people say that, man, because, dude, I know a lot of people won't agree with me because, you know, especially people on my channel, it's around about the same age as me, but I'm the type of person, when it comes down to it, you can't say something like that because people were hating on you back in the day. And they didn't like your stuff, just like despite popular opinion, there's a lot of people that didn't like Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre, and we'll get more into that in a second.
Hit and stay you.
Find your collaborator. I don't like the fact that there's like 9 different producers on one album.
Oh shit! Wow, this is a take. Hold on.
I like the idea of one producer on one album.
One producer?
The
Where did that come
continuity,
from?
the continuity is everything.
Yeah, where did
for
that
me.
come from? Where did it come from where you got cats that want to be with 9 different producers on one album and stuff like that? When the hell did that start?
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know, but I don't like it. You know, if you're
It
a
ain't
producer,
cohesive.
you should be able to
cohesive,
produce the entire album. That's what I thought it was supposed to be.
Okay. Right.
That's what I was doing at the beginning.
I'm very curious of what he thinks a producer is, because clearly he's saying that he never worked with anybody else in terms of music production in general. That seems a little, what you call disingenuous.
There's a lot of beat makers though, Doc. That's what the difference between your era
Oh, I know a lot of y'all about to eat this up in the comment section.
and this era is that there aren't too many producers as much as there are beat makers. It's so easy to make beats. They're giving you all these computer package that has the drum loop, has this, y'all had to make the loop.
I feel like it's a change that's happening right now.
First off, Snoop Dogg, even in Dre's time, there was drum loops and so forth that people used. First of all, what do you think when you sample something, by the way? Because Dr. Dre definitely sampled. He sampled maybe not all the popular stuff, but he definitely sampled a lot of the Funkadelic, Bootsy Collins, and so forth. That's basically your inspiration, Snoop, is that your style comes from Bootsy himself. So if we're talking about Bootsy Collins and all that, there's a level of inspiration for you. The only difference between you and Bootsy Collins is that Bootsy Collins can actually play the bass. And he, for the most part, and if I'm not mistaken, Bootsy Collins was told to be like Prince, at one time. And mind you, not everybody can be Prince. I know neither one of y'all niggas is like Prince. So for you to say that people are getting packets and stuff like that, that's disingenuous. I mean, I sample too, so I don't want to be a hypocrite, and that's why I don't have these types of weird stances and takes on things.
Now, you know, from all this mumble rap thing and everything that's happening right now, there's somebody.
Yo, this man, Dr. Dre, is on this kind of timing right here.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.
Bruh, I'm trying to tell you, man, this is gonna get really interesting.
In somebody's garage that's happening right now that's gonna be the next Snoop or Dre or next Prince or Michael Jackson or whatever that's coming up with.
Let me rewind that.
Today, that, you know, you're an aspiring artist, you want to make it, you want to get in the room and put that work in.
Be original. Be original, because right now it's so much copycat, mimicking, sounding alike, imitation. Be original. Find your voice. Find your production sound. Find your ear for who you are, and be original. Even if it ain't hitting, stay you.
Find your collaborator.
I sort of agree with that.
I don't like the fact that there's like 9 different producers on one album. I like the idea of one producer on one album. The continuity is everything.
Yeah, where did that come from? Where did it come from where you got cats that want to be with 9 different producers on one album and stuff like that? When the hell did that start?
I don't know. I don't know, but I don't like it. You know, if you're a producer, you should be able to produce the entire album. That's what I thought it was supposed to be.
Right.
That's what I was doing at the beginning.
There's a lot of beat makers though, Doc. That's what the difference between your era and this era is, that there aren't too many producers as much as there are beat makers. It's so easy to make beats. They're giving you all these computer packages that has the drum loop, has this, y'all had to make the loop.
I feel like it's a change that's happening.
They sample other people's music, bro.
Rap thing and
Dr. Dre sampled other people's music for the latter part of his career. Trust me when I say this. It's just when you look at an album like this, which is Doggy Style, by the way, you don't get that much information. Like there's not much liner notes and whatnot. So the perception at that particular time it says produced by Dr. Dre. So you know the executive producer Suge Knight. Anyways, the perception would be that Dr. Dre did everything, right? And that's where things kind of go left. We're gonna
everything that's happening right now. There's somebody in somebody's garage that's happening right now that's gonna be the next Snoop or Dre or next Prince or Michael Jackson or whatever.
Right.
That's coming up with something that's gonna change the game. It's gotta happen right now, and it's wide open because everything that's happening right now in the music game is especially hip hop is weird as fuck.
I was getting ready to.
Oh my God, the smoke, bro. Now, the reason why I'm stopping it right here is just to add one thing real quick. Do y'all think, and I have a question for everybody that is watching this video, watching this reaction. Do you think that everybody was accepting Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg outside of hip hop? Do you think that everybody was really into what they were doing and that they didn't have quote unquote haters, right? Do you think there were people, especially in hip hop, let's just say even in hip hop, there were people that were opposed to what they deemed as reality rap, which got rebranded into gangster rap? All you have to do is the research and you'll find out the answer. I'm not even going to give it to you.
To go there, why do you feel that it has to happen now? What is it about now that's happening that there's a level of urgency that makes you say change for the better?
Well, it's going to get back to the musicianship. That's all it is, you know, like real players, and I'm seeing it happen. I'm watching. I'm on the internet and I'm watching this.
It never left. That part of the game never left. Okay, what really happened is a lot of people will, of course, get all the glory. I guess if you want to say respectfully or not, I'm gonna leave that to the comment section, the chat. You guys, I see y'all gonna kind of going crazy, but I'm gonna tell you, nobody has stopped using instruments. I'm just saying it's not as popular as it was years ago due to technology advancing. Clearly, when you was using the MPC 3000, it allowed for you to do things that you probably couldn't do at that particular time period because of just limited sources. You know what I'm saying? Limited resources, not to mention it takes a while for you to get affirmated with a guitar. I don't know why I use the word affirmated, but dude, trust and believe, you had crutches too. There was people that were hating on you because you was using drum machines and drum samplers.
Instagram and things like that. And there's like these kids that are coming up that can really play, that can really play and can really write and sing and really doing some interesting rapping and shit like that. So I'm waiting for that to come back.
When did it go awry? From the standpoint, I'm just talking about the industry itself in terms of people doing things in a manner that you might.
By the
find is
way,
the
I'm not
right. Sure.
disrespecting
I know.
anything that's happening right now. I'm just talking about some substance that's getting ready to happen moving forward.
Okay.
But you kind of did.
I think the fundamentals
You
were taken out of it. Like, you had to have skill, you had to have professionalism in order to be an artist. Now you just have to have a phone. So it's a
Dude, times has changed, technology has changed. The music industry, as we are learning, is a disgusting music industry which has disrespected not only women, men, and children. All of that has been coming out in the limelight, and I gotta be kind of careful about this. But one thing I want to highlight, and I've been pulling this up. The main reason why I grabbed my Doggy Style vinyl album, you know what I'm saying, my vinyl record, because there were several people that worked on this album. Warren G being one of them. Daz Dillinger has worked with Dr. Dre. DJ Quick has worked with Dr. Dre. And yet they have been overshadowed for the latter part of their careers because Dr. Dre is being considered a producer. So it's kind of disingenuous that he would say something like, oh, well, there's a difference between producers and beat makers and all this other stuff. Man, no, you just had a position. You was, and respectfully, as you should, because you had more experience, I guess. But, dog, let me not even leave. I keep on leaving this brother out, man. Dog, you just cannot deny that Scott Storch hasn't done some GOAT production. And I know everybody, there's a multitude. If you look at the, what's it, How to Be in the Music Industry, I don't know what the name of the book is. It's been a while, and someone took that book from me by Donald Passman. There's several kinds of music producers of all sorts. Some people are hands-on, some people are not. Let's be respectful to those who have actually helped you and acknowledge them. Even in this interview, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that he's trying to convey anything else, but dog, there's so many people that helped you out, even on the songwriting side of it. Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, and the list goes, Jay-Z, the list goes on. So it looks kind of crazy. And this is why I kind of side with the youth on, you know, when they look at my content. I try not to be as condescending. I might joke with you guys, but I understand the struggle for what it is, because I went through it, and I don't rock with this industry because people play silly games, man. Like you'll work with an artist and you go hands on with this artist, and then somebody will walk in and then just put their name on the record. Man, leave a comment below if you've been through that, because I've been through that several times. There are people that I know that are actively on YouTube right now. When I was making records out here in Atlanta, and I'm talking about independent local records, where they might have been an engineer or they might have been in the room later during that part when you pass on a record. And once everything is said and done, they just slap their name on it. Or I've had, records that were done where people have co-signed it of significant relevance, and someone else puts their hands on it just so I can get a bigger bag. Granted, I appreciate all that stuff, dog, but let's be real. Like, there ain't a lot of fuck shit in this industry, dog. Let's just be 100 about that. I just want to know from you guys, what are your opinions about this situation? Definitely, again, I want to give shout outs and credit to the Stephen A. Smith channel, because this is a part of the Stephen A. Smith show. So I'm not going to go through all of it. I'm going to watch the rest of it. And also, I want to remind you guys of this right here. I do have a secondary channel where it's a little bit more raw and uncut than my main channel for obvious reasons. This channel is not monetized, so I can get away with a little bit more than I can on this channel. And, I can really go in on certain kinds of things. And, I will further discuss that on the Mcree TV channel. I have it linked in the description box. And I do appreciate it if you are watching this channel right now. I really do appreciate it, because this is a conversation to be had.
Have certain things to be qualified as an artist. Now it's just the phone makes you an artist, and something stupid or something crazy on the internet gets you 5 minutes of fame, and you take that and make a record, and you got a 2.5 minute song that's saying the same thing that somebody else just said.
I do agree with that. It's kind of like Ice Spice Glorilla and all that, and I will take Glorilla over Ice Spice any day of the week. But that her music isn't for me. But I also don't want to discredit. And Glorilla started off just rapping, but you know, there's just so many people that have jumped out and did some goofy stuff. I think he's probably referring to someone like, I don't know, KSI or the Island Boys, because that's hilarious. But everybody doesn't take those folks serious. They just are doing music or whatever, and if it works, it works, man. We don't take those people serious, man.
Now you're considered hot, as opposed to it used to be about creativity.
No, they're considered getting views. That doesn't mean that they're hot. If you go to their comment section, Snoop Dogg, you will see that people will say that this is hot garbage. How did this get popular? But then they're not understanding the more that you respond to people that are just being what you call meme or doing rage bait or clickbait or whatever, that they're feeding the algorithm. That is a positive thing. No matter how negative the comment, how many times people laugh and hit a heart on it, the person that wins the most is that creator of that video. And a lot of the older heads or whatnot don't understand how algorithms work. Dude, that's exactly how it works. The best way to not allow stuff like this to fly is to not pay attention to it. But it's just funny. People are human. People relate in a certain kind of way. And this whole fabrication of celebrity, that the old ways is done. Let's get over that and let's start over now. You guys have the power on y'all platforms to acknowledge who you want. Y'all can reshare who y'all want, and y'all choose to pay attention to the people that do not have no place in this space. That's exactly what y'all, man, come on.
And understanding of musicianship, you know, harmony, melodies, that don't even matter no more. It's just auto-tune. I want to sound like him. I want to say what she said.
Snoop, don't act like you haven't used auto-tune before, my guy.
But I want to, you know, do the same things, but just in my own way, as opposed to let me be original.
One of the things that I've always...
And also, even with that, I remember when Jay-Z had a bad take on the Blueprint 3, where he did a song called Death of the Auto-Tune, and Auto-Tune survived. And by the way, that's where the whole Lil Wayne and Jay-Z beef kind of started, because Lil Wayne was doing his thing with Auto-Tune and all that. Of course, T-Pain and a few others at that particular time. Dude, please believe, just like how like everybody likes to make West Coast beats and stuff like that to this very day, y'all inspired a generation. Those guys inspired a generation too. You might not like it, but they have inspired a generation that you more than likely will never ever get. That's the only thing that kind of bothers me when people say stuff like that.
What it said is that when people get on artists, I've always come to the defense of artists, and I look at the industry itself. Because if you're trying to make it and somebody's over, and they're telling you this is what it's going to take in order for your music to be played, for you to develop and cultivate whatever your brand is, somebody is over you saying this is the way to go. And if you feel
right, Dr. Dre, like you've been over people like Daz Dillinger, DJ Quick, Scott Storch. These are those names. Daz Dillinger. Those names alone. Those guys are no slacks in the studio. They are definitely super talented people. But you was over them. And you were more likely got the limelight because you was the producer. And when we talk about that, there's a lot of people that would be jaded because of that, because they're not getting the shine that they deserve. It's just that, oh, okay, you got a check, I paid you, you know what I'm saying? And now the glory goes to one person. And that's where we had to do the whole ego thing, man. At times you just got to check your ego and understand that there is rites of passage. Believe it or not, I 100% don't agree with how things are. If you produce music and you do very well, you shouldn't be passed on to a producer that's going to take the credit or whatever. And I'm not going to speak on anything as far as if people got the proper credit or whatever. I will let them, if y'all want to come on this platform, we can always talk about it, have their shine. But let me know how y'all feel about this. I'm not going to watch the whole entire interview. I'm actually running over in time. I wanted to keep it short, simple, and sweet, but this is a conversation to be had that's, I think, my audience would really appreciate. And when it comes down to this whole producer, beat maker type thing, man, I want to hear from you guys. And how do y'all feel about them saying that modern day music is whack? And I can I overstand why younger producers do not like older producers, because it does come off as hate and bitterness when you guys have done your thing. Your time was your time. And nobody shouldn't have to just go. Nobody, and this is one thing, and I'm going to leave it at like this, because I think this is tabernacle type shit right here. Nobody should have to work with you in order for them to get props and credit. That's kind of disingenuous to people that have started their own movement, even if they don't sound like you. Because it's so easy to say that someone is ass and that they don't deserve this and that because they didn't come up from under you. Because Anderson .Paak, believe it or not, comes up in more of this age than anything. Yes, he is truly talented. Dope-ass drummer, dope-ass singer, dope-ass music producer, and has done a whole bunch of stuff. But he technically is in this particular generation. It's just that he's worked with you, and that's not fair. That's just not fair to just because someone doesn't work with you, that you just, oh, their music is ass. You know, they don't get my approval. Yes, I understand it. I mean, if I was to get a cosign from Dr. Dre, or anybody was to get a cosign for Dr. Dre or Snoop Dogg, it will mean something. It will mean something until it doesn't. And when I don't, or if you don't do what it takes after the fact, because the cosign doesn't really mean much unless you have the catalog to go along with it. Let me know how y'all feel about that.